Hi, I'm Debbie Hartner. I'm Elsie Johnson. We are two sisters, Southern Cooking. I'm back. I am going to make a Coca Cola cake. And if you've never had a Coca Cola cake, it's really, really good. It's very moist, very tender. It's a chocolate cake. You do not taste the Coca Cola in it. So if that was giving you a little bit of alarm, don't worry, you don't really taste it. It just actually gives it a good, moist tenderness to it. Okay, so I have my little burner heated up here. You're going to take your stick of butter and put it in your pot. You're going to take your cola and put in, but I'm going to actually try and melt my butter first a little bit. And not into this pot, we're going to put oil, the cocoa powder, the Coca-Cola, and butter. And you're going to bring that to a boil. Then you're going to put it in your dry ingredients, which is salt, flour, and sugar, which we sifted our salt and flour, so I'm just going to pour my sugar in while that's melting. And whisk that together. You do not need to use a mixer or any kind. This is all by hand. So that's a nice thing. And it's going to be baked in a 9x13 baking pan. It's almost similar to the traditional sheet cakes that we've been doing lately. That's kind of what this is. Because it's done by hand and it's done in a 9x13 pan. So the butter is melting really well. And we are pretty much melted. Alright, I'm going to pour my Coca Cola in. I'm going to pour my oil in. Put that under there. Out of the way. Alright, and then I'm going to put my cocoa powder in. Okay, and then I'm just going to bring this up to a boil, and then we'll move on to our next step. So right now I'm going to stir this and incorporate all this cocoa powder, try to get it broke down. Alright, I'm going to turn this off for now. Yeah, move this out of the way. It's hot. It's the thing with working with a hot plate.
Yeah.
Because they get hot. Everything is hot pretty much around it. Okay. I'm going to make a little indent in the middle here so I can pour this in. Alright. And then I'm just going to start slowly mixing this together. That's hot liquid, so you do not want to splash yourself with it, even though we've done that quite a few times. We both have had burns on our hands and arms from getting a little overzealous. That is mixed together pretty good. I have buttermilk here. I have vanilla. I have baking soda. And I have 2 eggs. And I'm going to beat it together before I put it in. to the batter. Okay. Okay, I'm going to pour this in here, and then I will stir that all together, and then I'll get my pan out and we'll pour it into the pan. Okay. I'm going to get my pan, and I'm going to pour it into the pan.
Ooh, that smells good. Delicious.
Yes.
You know what's going to make that? The buttermilk.
Yeah.
The buttermilk is going to make it.
It's a combination of the buttermilk, because buttermilk tenderizes and the Coca Cola tenderizes too. So that really gives it the moist tenderness to this cake.
So we made this cake last year and we did a video on it, but Elsie and my skills with video and editing wasn't as great as it is now. Well, not much better, but it's better.
We're better, yeah, a little bit.
So we wanted to remake this so we can combine the icing, the cake.
Right, because we never had the icing on the same video last year.
We didn't do
And
that.
it would be difficult if you were just looking at our videos trying to make a complete cake, if you had to go look for the icing in a separate video. If
And
you
did
didn't
not know that that was the icing for the cake.
Right,
either.
so I mean, those are little things that we've learned over this past year.
We're getting there.
You know, to combine
Yeah.
one whole recipe together.
Right.
So,
From start to finish. And plus then you get to see the final product too.
right.
Because before I didn't do any videos that was attached to
Right, of what
to
it looked like.
what it looked like at the end, and you're like, well, what does it look like?
Okay, I'm going to tap this to get the air bubbles out, and it's really weird how you can see them come out. You can just see them pop to the surface. And I do it about 2-3 times. I think we're good to go in the oven at 350 for 20 to 25 minutes until a toothpick or a cake tester or whatever you might have comes out clean.
All right, guys, we'll see when it comes out.
Yeah, and then we'll do the icing and put the icing on, and then it'll be done. Okay, y'all, I am making the chocolate frosting for the Coca Cola cake. So I'm going to melt my butter, and then I will add in my cocoa powder, my heavy cream. Bring that to a boil, and then I will add my vanilla and my confectioner's sugar in. So we'll get this butter melted. The cake is done. It's cooling down just slightly. You don't want it to be really, really hot when you put it on, but you still want it to be warm. So by the time I get this done, we should be able to just go ahead and ice the cake. And like a sheet cake, this cake actually stays in the pan, and you pour the icing over it right in the pan. Okay. I sifted my cocoa powder because cocoa powder has a tendency to clump up, and you don't want any clumps to show on top of your cake, because it will not mix out. So I can get all this cocoa off the back of the spoon. Okay, I'm gonna add in my heavy cream. You could use heavy cream or whole milk. because the heavy cream was colder than your normal room temperature, it'll take it just a minute for it to come back up to a boil. I'm going to stir it as it does. And we are already at a boil. So I'm going to take it off the burner. Move my hot plate out of the way. Okay. Now add in the vanilla. Okay. And I'll start putting in my confection of sugar. Smells really good. Okay, y'all, I have got the frosting ready, and I have my cake here, and it's still just warm, so I'm going to just pour this out on it. And this, like I said, it will actually make like a crackle effect on top when it starts to cool down and to dry, basically. Alright. Let me get rid of my offset spatulas. Spread it. And you want to spread it out as soon as you can, because like I said, it will start to form a crust on it fairly fast. And it is a thicker consistency of an icing, so however you glaze it right away, like if you put little swirlies in it or anything, that's the way it's going to be. It'll stay that way because it will dry that way and firm up. So if you want to do some little designs, you can. We are good to go. I'm going to put this up and we'll be ready to eat this later tonight with our dinner. I'm Elsie.
And I'm Debbie.
We're two sisters Southern cooking.
And we thank you for visiting our page. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Thank you.